the Arizona Coyotes were clearly just ready to get back on the airplane and go home after this 14-game road trip, and boy, did they just pack it in tonight.
I think McDavid just scored again.
Thank you so much for tuning in to the PHNX Coyotes postgame show, brought to you by the one and only DraftKings Sportsbook app, America's top-rated sportsbook app. Don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe wherever you get your podcasts, and leave us a 5-star review. I'm Leah Merrill here with Craig Morgan, Steve Peters, and at least, I don't know. No, it's over.
I think Thomas captured it perfectly.
Very, very.
The only thing missing was the cannon.
To watch in a long time, almost as bad as last year's Columbus game. Cannon sound not included in pain. You're so right, Thomas.
Yeah, I was there.
At least there was no cannon.
I was there, and at least I don't have to do the post-game show from the top of a trash can. So,
hey, how'd Columbus do tonight?
Okay,
anybody?
That's
not going to be the last one. That's not going to be the last one.
Already, the over/under for the side count is set at 10, so we'll see. And Charles said, does the side counter match or beat the Oilers' score tonight? I guess we'll see. I guess if in that case, the over/under would be set at 8.
But honestly, though, I will say this. And we're not surprised at any of this.
No.
Like, this is the end of the 14-game road trip. 14. And I said, I don't know if people pay attention to what I say because I think most people don't listen. But
you don't listen to us in our group chat.
I said this team, that meaning the Coyotes, would have one foot on the plane before the game even started, and they played like it. Yep. This team want to get home. They haven't been home.
Both feet on the plane.
They had both feet on. They wanted to get home. They wanted to get home, and they played like it. And that Oiler team lost, and everything was going against them, and it played out exactly like I thought it would. That team didn't show up, and they just, it was their worst game of the 14-game trip. It's the most goals they've given up the entire season. This just get home. And you know what they're thinking right now? Just get home. Yep. Just get home. It's a loss. Let's get home.
AJ in the chat from DNVR Abs. Happy miserable hockey watching night. Love you, friends.
AJ.
Hey, yeah, they had a tough loss.
AJ's tough. They got the Colorado Eagles out there playing. The screaming Eagles.
Hey, welcome to our life, AJ.
That's what it takes for the
losing hockey games. Can't relate.
Oh, Sean is going to be insufferable.
There's some flexing going on.
Honestly, we're going to need the contribution tonight, so I say let it roll.
Whatever, let's just have fun with it.
I'll contribute as much as I can. I still won't contribute as much as Tage Thompson contributed to the Sabres.
Wow,
baby.
That's on my bar.
Against the machine.
Oh, my God.
And Thomas brings up another good point. They come home to play the Boston Bruins.
Who just beat the Abs that AJ had
The Boston
watch.
Bruins.
What could go wrong?
The Bruins, the only thing you can hope for is that they're at Old Town, that they're kicking around Old Town tomorrow night, and maybe that helps.
The Old Town flu.
The Old Town flu, maybe it's 75 degrees. They're coming from the Northeast. You got all that snow, and just go, hey, maybe. I don't know. Maybe. No, there's no chance.
Against Boston? I'm not feeling it either.
It's not looking great. Well, let's just get this all over.
Yeah,
with. Let's just run through this. First, let's start with by the numbers because it's brutal. 8-2 final score, obviously. Brutal here. Oilers 35 shots to the Coyotes 18, but it was just 10 shots on goal for the whole game, midway through the third period. It felt like the Coyotes couldn't even be in the offensive zone. They couldn't sustain any offensive zone time, and Craig and I the whole game were saying we wish we could see the numbers.
We had the chips in the puck.
Yeah, we'll go find that sometime after the game, but the zone possession time was unreal. Once again, Coyotes power play can't get it done, and once again, the Oilers power play does, or the opposing team's power play does. They were 2 for 5, and just an absolute
shots. Leah, shots were 30-10 after two. 30-10. Like, this isn't a peewee game. This is the National Hockey League. 30-10 after 2 periods, that's hard to do. I don't care who's playing. 30-10 is tough.
It really felt like that tonight, though, that we were watching teams from different leagues play at points tonight.
It did.
Edmonton was that dominant. There were times where it was just passing around the offensive zone. Okay, we're not going to shoot right now. We're going to go easy on you. We're going to wait for the perfect shot.
I'm not sure half the guys know we're going to have the puck tonight. They might be already on their way home. I don't need a shower after that one. Honestly, it was just, and I'm being a little facetious here. The Coyotes, what we usually say about the Coyotes, they played hard, they had jump, they tried, they skated, they were in it till the end. None of those things are true. None of those things are true tonight. Their power play now, another 0 for 2 night. And I mentioned this last time, Nick Ritchie's sitting in the press box. He He was a key to your power play early in the season, led this team in power play points for a while. I'm not quite sure what's going on there. I don't know, and I don't know if there's something more to the story of what's going on, but I'm surprised that he's not back in lineup. If he doesn't draw in against Boston, something's going on.
Yeah, we'll find out, though.
I mean, you lose 8-2 and you don't make a lineup change, then something's going on. Conversely, it's another team we talked about again. It's just we should just play the last show and just repeat it. This penalty kill was top 10. They were top 5 for a brief moment, and now, again, 2 for 5 on the penalty kill. The difference is you're playing the Edmonton Oilers with Draisaitl and McDavid on the power play. You cannot, and I mean cannot, put them on the power play. You can't, because they are going to score, and that's what happened tonight. They didn't defend well. They were in the penalty box too much. They left Ingram out to dry, and I know Ingram stayed in for all 8. I just felt terrible for him.
Yeah, because Nick had just asked, why didn't they pull him?
Well, if you're giving Vejmelka a rest, you're giving him a rest.
Yeah.
There was absolutely no point.
If you're already going to lose the game.
You're going to lose the game. That's what number 2s have to deal with sometimes.
Yep.
Veggie got the rest. You'll see Veggie on Friday. I'm sorry. And I'm sure they told Iggy between periods, this is your game. I mean, I'm sorry. And I wouldn't doubt.
It wasn't on him.
No, and I let's make that clear, right?
Yeah.
Let's not hang this on Conor Ingram.
No, not at all.
No way.
There was like barely any goals.
Turnover.
It's like you could have just played the same replay over and over, and I would have believed it was all 8 goals. Like every goal was a turn.
What did we say the first 10 minutes? It could be 5-0. And it wasn't. It was 2-0.
Ingram
5-6.
had a few good saves in this game.
Toe save in the first.
It could have been 11-2.
I just felt terrible for him. And you know what? This is one of those games when the coach comes in after the game and just points at the goalie and go, "Look what you guys did to him." Like you guys should feel awful because of how you let your goalie hang out to dry on this game. And I that's embarrassing the way they defended. You talked about the turnovers. Again, we said it's the best player in the world. Don't turn over the puck when he's on the ice. Get over the red line, dump it. Yeah. If you get off the ice and Connor McDavid and it's 0-0 on every shift that Connor McDavid's on, you don't try to score. You just try to make sure he doesn't score. And if you end up with him off the score sheet, you have a much better chance to win.
The Brad Richardson approach.
Exactly.
Right?
Just don't let him score.
Yeah.
Even when you're in the offensive zone, and I know this is counterintuitive, but when you were in the offensive zone and Connor McDavid is on the ice, you still need to be defending, period. Because he can go from the other end of the ice behind his goal to your net faster than any player on this planet, and you better be aware of it, and you better stay above him, and you better be on him. And Connor McDavid, by the way, he did okay today.
Yeah, and well, should we just roll right into your keys, Petey? Because the Coyotes clearly didn't see these pregame, and there was a common thread among these keys.
Yeah, it truly is this team, and I know Draisaitl is the second man on this group. This game and this team runs through McDavid, and it has for years. If you stop McDavid, you can stop the Oilers. Period. His name should be first, second, and third on the whiteboard at the beginning of the game. Defend McDavid. Stay between him and the net. There were so many times when he was on the ice and the focus of the Coyote players were on the puck carrier, not McDavid. When he doesn't have the puck is when he's the most dangerous. They didn't defend him. Slow him down, stay in front of him. Again, we just said that, didn't do it. And him on the power play, my goodness, was he good. He is absolutely amazing to watch. Even when you're trying to defend him, you can't. And there were way too many holes in the Coyotes' defense tonight. And I don't mean defensemen. I mean their defensive system. And McDavid, clearly with 4 points, 2 goals, 2 assists. He dominated out there again tonight. And if he dominates a game, you are going to lose.
Chris said, Petey's keys couldn't start the bus tonight. Love
Yeah,
it.
exactly,
And also,
Chris.
we have a
Thanks, Chris.
$1.99 super chat from Blatantly Asinine. I think the comment is the water bottle one. Awesome water bottle, Leah. Women belong in sports. Yes, they do. I have the sticker on my water bottle that says that. It's okay. I found your comment. But we appreciate the super chat regardless. But yeah, the Coyotes they didn't do a lot of good things tonight. This was kind of one of those just get through it games.
Real quick,
Seriously.
sorry I was delayed on this, but
There it is.
No, I think there already 2, I think.
I'm playing worse than Colorado or Columbus's goalie now.
Wow. Yeah, CWP's keeping score.
Yeah, we need the chat to hold us accountable on this one.
Now we've purged some of that anger. The reality is this team is tired. Yeah. They want to get home. And I'm not talking physically tired. It's emotionally difficult. And by the way, This team right now is sitting in Edmonton, Alberta at minus 25 degrees in the snow. That is hard to do.
When you know that
this is here.
68-degree sunshine is here.
And
you haven't been home in over a month.
Yeah, you haven't. Yeah. So
this is brutal.
I absolutely understand how it happens. Your mental focus disappears and drains. Their record in this trip to get 4 wins on this 14 game and 3 go to overtime is much better than any of us predicted in this 14 game stretch. So I will say this team is coming home with a better record and a successful road trip, even though they only had 4 wins out of the 14, but 3 to overtime, and only 1 point out of last place.
Yep. And that's what it's all about. It's all about bad for Bedard.
Here's the thing, though, guys. They won the first 3 games of this trip.
Yeah, fair point.
They kind of cratered. We thought this would happen, too, right? This is a long-ass road trip through multiple time zones, hopping all over the place. Again, I said one of the players told me when they came home, it just felt like another stop on the road trip. It caught up to him.
Well, and that's the other point we made, too. They're only home for, 3 games?
Yeah, and they go to San Jose.
And then they travel again. Or is it just 2?
2
it's
games.
2.
Yeah.
And they're back on the road. Like it's the league is just kicking them in the shins.
Maybe this is Gary's way.
Yeah,
of helping
let him be home for 10 days, play 5 or 6 games in 10 days. No, you know what? You can come home for 2. And by the way, tonight you won't get home till 3 in the morning. Oh, and then 1 practice day, and then you get to play the Boston Bruins. Like, let's throw a day game in there against Philly.
Right? They'll be off tomorrow, and then they'll have a skate on Friday. And
so they won't touch the ice. They'll touch the ice 1 time between now and the time they face the Boston Bruins. Boy, howdy.
And we got our first one.
That was a sigh, by the way. I heard it.
That was
a subtle sigh.
That was a sigh.
But so I said this team was going to come back in last place. When this came over, I said when this schedule came out, I said this team would be in last place at the end of this road trip. That was going to be the end of their season, and they're not.
They're not because they had that great start to the road trip that none of us expected.
And we didn't see the Ducks doing what the Ducks are doing.
Yeah, although shout out the Ducks for their win last night, finally.
Yeah, way to go Ducks.
Finally.
Still, the Coyotes have 4 games in hand on the Ducks right now.
Oi!
And on the Sharks, who are also...
I think they
Oi, howdy.
Oi, howdy. There you go. I think they make it up in the next 2 weeks. If anybody keeps looking at that calendar, good grief. We might have to move in here. Do I have to pay rent at the studio?
We should just pre-record like a standard Lost post-game show where it's like, the Coyotes were outshot tonight. They didn't score on the power play, and the other team capitalized on theirs. And that's all you really need.
Despite the goalie's strong performance.
Yes, the goalie was left out to dry.
And I will big up because everybody knows me and my positive outlook on things.
You are Mr. Sunshine.
Mr. Sunshine and positivity. I try to look at somebody and I go, okay, there was something tonight. There was something. There was one positive, and I found one.
Okay.
One.
Okay.
One positive. Jacob Chychrun.
Oh.
When you say one positive,
and I'm going to tell you why.
Quite literally.
I do mean it literally because here is a guy that struggled on the minus and the negative plus minus on goals for and against. And
last season he did, yeah.
Last season, and you look at him tonight in this devastating loss. Jacob Chychrun gets an assist and ends up +1.
Crazy.
That's unreal when a number of other players ended up -4.
There's -4. And not only that, he's got 6 shot attempts, he gets 3 shots on goal, an assist, and he ends up +1. GMs, are you listening? I know most of them listen to this show on their way home from everywhere. The guys out east are getting into bed listening to us for sure. But this is what you wanted from him, and I gotta say, I was pretty critical about Jacob Chychrun, saying, hey, you just got to come out and do it, come out and play and keep your mouth shut. And he's done that.
Yeah.
And I hats off to him. He's doing what he's been asked. And there are teams right now that really need defensemen.
Yep.
So
they're going to start getting desperate enough to pay what Bill Armstrong is asking for. And Bill Armstrong's played the waiting game. And that's what he did with Darcy Kemper. And he got what he wanted. So I can only imagine it's going to happen again. While we're on the positive note, let's stay on the positive note. Because we do have to crown a DraftKings King of the Game.
Yeah, we do.
So without further ado, Sean, can you pull up the graphic, please?
Duh.
Wait a second.
The Cole, Thompson, Tage, Mini Gretzky Thompson, 5 goals, 1 assist.
Wait a second.
Maybe the greatest hockey player to ever play of all time.
Okay.
Was there anybody else?
He is an Arizona product. So.
That is true. He was born.
The greatest Arizona-born hockey player to live. Ever.
Wow.
Ever.
Wow, we've been usurped by our producer. My God.
Wow.
All right, well, let's get serious. Let's show our actual DraftKings king of the game tonight. It's Butter Pig Krause.
Butter Pig Krause.
Daddy's coming home.
Butter Pig Krause is the king of the game. He might not sleep tonight, the Butter Pig. Can you imagine?
He'll be waiting at the window all
with
night.
his little stub tail just going, just buzzing. Get home, Daddy.
It was one of those nights that we really couldn't crown a king. Conor Ingram, special shout out just for having to deal with that. I've seen a few you mentioned Chikrin already. You've seen a few comments about McBain.
McBain, yeah.
He obviously had that goal tonight. One of the two Coyotes goals, but he also made a couple of mistakes. But
he gets to the net hard and he competes.
He scored,
Good for him. Good for him. For sure.
We're not going to judge much off this game tonight.
And Shane Gostisbehere getting a goal also, padding on to his draft. I always say draft stock.
I know you can't. They're not getting drafted. I'm
just thinking ahead. I'm always thinking ahead to the future.
I'm just happy for Butter.
But Craig and I, we used to travel a lot, right?
Yeah.
And this team, I said, gets home at 3 a.m. I used to come home at 3 a.m. Who was waiting for me at the door with their tail wagging?
Not Heidi.
Was not Heidi. Her tail was not at the door waiting. No. Wiley. Exactly. That is the best part of coming home from a road trip because he doesn't know what time it is. He doesn't care. Whoa, Daddy's home. That's awesome. That is the best feeling ever.
Oh my God, that's awesome. Man, well, I don't want to take us off the positive, but I'm going to because if you saw on our Twitter, we did a mid-game PD's Puck Talk at PHNX_Coyotes, so go check that out. Which goal was that? The fourth Oilers goal?
That was the fourth Oilers goal.
Whoa, boy howdy.
Boy howdy.
But we have another PD's Puck Talk, and this is
number 5, the fifth goal?
Oilers goal. So without further ado,
but
PD's Puck Talk.
And this one is more, I'm not laying blame, we're just teaching. Okay, because the biggest reason I'm doing this is because this is a young player that made a mistake. And this is something when you get to the post game today, it's not going to be, he'll see this video tonight and they'll talk to him tonight, but it won't be yelling and screaming. It's going to be, hey, we see what you did. You need to see what you did, and let's learn from it. And that's what we're going to do. We're going to learn.
Okay.
So we're going to start with the start. This is just a picture of the defensive zone system and defensive zone structure on how you want to defend. You're going to see each player has a little circle around them. That's kind of the area that they want to protect. We call it 5 on a dice, and you look at the red jerseys, and I know this is old logos, but this was an old graphic. They're 5 on a dice. And if you look at the right wing in this picture, and I know the people listening can't see it, it's the area between the hash marks on the weak side of the ice. That's where Dylan Guenther should be standing on this play. So let's go to the first slide. So you see Dylan Guenther's in the right spot. He's protecting. What's his job? It's the defenseman of the Edmonton Oilers at the top of the screen. Go to the next slide. Guenther follows the puck. And it's so easy to do for a young player to follow the puck. And look what he does. He leaves all that open ice behind him. He should be where the red circle is. But what you want to do when you're an offensive player is you want to chase that puck. You see Troy Stetcher's going out to cover that same player. But that's the defenseman's guy. His job right now, Guenther's got to protect that slot. Guenther's got to take away 27 Kulak. And if you go to the next slide, with everybody going towards the puck carrier, Kulak's left all alone. And look at all the ice Kulak has. He can walk down Broadway and the next slide, and it's in the back of the net. So it's just a puck watching, and this team tends to puck watch. It happened again on the other McDavid goal where they puck watch and gravitate to the puck. And you know what? Especially when you're chasing a game and you're trying to get back in the game offensively, you want to get the puck back, so you chase the puck. This team is incredibly aggressive on the puck in the defensive zone, but you still have to defend.
Can we just look at more pictures of Butter? No.
There you go.
No, it's crazy, right? We were talking about this play as it happened. When Stetcher and Guenther finished their stride that way, we had 4 guys outside the dot.
Yep.
4 guys outside the dot, which is not the way you want to play.
And if you're watching a game and you see 3 players on 1, that means there are people open all over the ice, and that's really bad. So you again, this is a learning point and a learning moment for Guenther. It isn't chastising the kid. He wants the puck. He's an offensive guy that wants the puck. And guess what? If he gets the puck there and he pokes the puck away and they go the other way on a 3-on-1, we're not talking about it. And I think that's how fine of a line it is in this game between success and failure is if he pokes the puck and they go, it's a great play and we're saying, oh my gosh, look how aggressive he is on the puck. But when it doesn't work out, this happens. And I'm a firm believer in you need to defend first. And I think teams that know how to defend win championships.
Petey, will he see the video tonight?
What's that?
Will Dylan Guenther see this video tonight? Yes. Where will he see it?
Well, in the old days, this would have been, he'll see it personally on the bus on the way back. He's either going to watch it on his phone or an iPad on the plane. Coaches probably won't talk to him about it.
Will he be on the plane?
Oh. See what he did there? What else is going on in Canada?
Well, players have to report to World Junior Championship camp on Friday. Dylan Guenther's home right now in Edmonton. Do you fly him back if you're sending him to World Juniors? That has not been officially announced, but we've been talking about it on this show and in print for, a month now?
Well,
Brewing Fork said Guenther's probably in the chat right now, I'm sure.
Since game 10.
If you're right. Dylan Guenther, show yourself.
You're right, Craig. If the intent is to have him participate in the World Junior camp and play a part on this World Junior team, I'm just thinking logistically, why would you fly him back into the United States?
Nothing official yet.
And cross the board. Why would
we've
you
been
cross
speculating on it for a long time. I saw Darren Drager was speculating on it. A couple other people were speculating on it, that there's a very good chance he's going to join the team. I don't know when they're going to announce what they're going to do with him, but I guess you can understand not doing it when he's at home in Edmonton. You don't tell him, hey, you're leaving the team for a while. Although it's a great opportunity, right? It's an unbelievable event to play in the World Juniors. So it's not like it should feel like, oh, we're kicking you out for a while. No. It's a really cool opportunity.
And it'd be an honor because, it's something that, especially in Canada, those kids want to play for that team. And he missed the chance to play for his team in the Memorial Cup last year, and this would be something that I don't think he'd hesitate to get that opportunity. And you're right. I don't see logistically bringing him back across the border to put him on a plane to fly back across the border. As you two well know, it's hard to get to Canada.
Yeah. I'm so sorry that I just am very distracted right now because I can literally hear Saul screaming in the other room. Because it was a tough night for the Phoenix Suns. It was a tough night for the Arizona Coyotes. However, we're used to this. We kind of don't mind a loss.
Well, you didn't want to tell everybody what happened on the third TV?
No.
Wagon.
Whatever.
Wagon.
So
WAGGIN.
I'm just going to continue to talk. I hope you didn't put money on the Suns tonight. I hope you put money on the Oilers and the Celtics tonight, and you would have won yourself some money on the DraftKings Sportsbook app. But if you haven't downloaded it yet, do so now. Download it, sign up with the code PHNX, place a $5 pregame moneyline bet on any NBA team to win their game and get $150 in free bets if they do. That's code PHNX only at the DraftKings Sportsbook. Minimum age and eligibility restrictions apply. See the show notes for details. I also think an honorable mention for King of the Game is Four Peaks Beer for getting all of us tonight through these games. Joel was right on it. Seriously, it's so amazing that we have Four Peaks here in the office as we sit in our more furniture recliners with our little cup holders, because for the ASU guys, it was a celebratory beer. For everybody else, it was a sad beer.
I know. I'm drinking water tonight. I should be drinking Four Peaks. Joel, would you be my driver and take me home from shows? Would you volunteer?
All you gotta do is ask the minions, and they'll all be outside.
I hope did you guys open the Four Peaks Advent calendar box on your show?
Yes, we did.
What was the beer?
It was a double pumpkin porter today.
Oh,
baby! We're keeping it festive in a different way.
Love it.
Are we going to open that tomorrow? I feel like
we
deserve to open it.
We're the first show of the day tomorrow, so we 100% should.
Yeah, we haven't got to do that yet.
I know, and we will. So we're going to do that tomorrow on the show. It's the Four Peaks December Advent Calendar box. It's $55 filled with beers, tall boys, and more. They have a limited quantity left at their 8th Street pub. You can purchase it today. You'll be a couple days behind, but it's great because you get to open, I think, 7 or 8 at once. Why not? Love it. I love an Advent calendar. What?
Did you see Steven?
I'm coming to the Valley Sunday for the game versus the Flyers. Definitely to check out Four Peaks. Steven, we love to hear it. Also,
do you know how far away it is?
It's walking distance. But Steven earlier said hello from Virginia.
Walk responsibly, Steven.
Yeah, so walk responsibly, Steven.
Safe travels to Arizona.
It's four Peaks to the Mullet is walking
Robert
distance.
said looking forward to that short drive to Mullet.
Yeah.
It's great.
Let's go.
It's seriously, it's a great pregame vibe for sure. Also, the chat is cracking me up tonight. It's moving so fast I can't even keep up with it.
CWP, it depends on the ride. I get picky after a while.
I know. It's right. I'm sure he does too. And he would. That was how bougie Craig would go. No, I won't name all car brands because people might get offended. But, car A, no. Move along.
Is the Pellegrino chill to exactly 36.6 degrees?
Yes. Let them eat the cake.
It's not the proper temperature, Leah, but
what is the proper temperature?
I'm a little offended that you don't remember since it's in my contract. It's 41 degrees. 41 degrees, just laying it out there. Probably should be 42, right? I should have gone with 42 for. No, you're not.
Who is?
Clearly, that part of the contract has not been fulfilled either. My Nutter Butters are gone too. Just saying.
I think that was.
I'm just saying you took them out of my protection. So.
Well, what happened when they were in your protection?
That's neither here nor there.
The Chevy Spark is out, Joel said. Oh man. Well, there's not a whole lot else to say from this game.
Look at Roaring Fork just said.
If you guys get Mayor Woods on the show,
if you can get him,
I would. Think
if you guys can get Mayor Woods on the show,
I mean, Roaring Fork, Mayor Woods,
buddy,
will be on our show.
Boy,
I think
howdy.
he knows that. I think he's saying then.
If you guys
can get Woods,
you know Roaring Fork.
Oh, if you can get Woods.
Roaring Fork. It's funny you should mention Torts because I've lined up an interview with Torts as well. I don't know what form that's going to take because it's tough with their schedule, but we'll have a segment.
Never doubt Craig and Petey's connections here and among
Craig's amazing.
People. Chris, what about your? Chris said we'll pick you up in my 2022 Tundra.
That would work.
A 2022.
22 might be good enough.
TBD, Chris. TBD.
Yeah.
See what's at the curb.
Nick said, I heard that sigh over Craig's Pellegrino. But seriously, any other takeaways from this game tonight? We saw Nick Schmaltz have a breakaway opportunity, smash his stick. We saw Christian Fischer get another point tonight with an assist on the Shane Gosper goal. Actually, his shot was the one that led to the Shane Gosper deflection for that goal. Obviously, goals tonight for the Coyotes didn't really mean much, but individual point streaks do. So that was great. We saw Cassian get in a fight in the final seconds, bleeding on the ice against his former team. And just, I know we mentioned Dylan Guenther already. I guess just not his best performance in a homecoming game for him. His first National Hockey League game in his hometown. So those were some of my
I thought the penalties, you're right, for sure. And Cassian looked like he had that was a personal grudge there, just some anger towards anybody in an Oiler jersey because of his history there. The one thing, again, positives, I hate to bring it down again, but Mosier and Valimaki looked like young defensemen today.
Yeah, they struggled.
And you're both -4. And again, this is where you talk about young players getting an opportunity to get in and out of the lineup. And I think you're going to see more of that in this second half, or the second, the second quarter? Yeah, the second quarter of this season. They're going to see guys coming in and out of the lineup. And you know, it just takes time to learn this league. JJ Mosier's a kid. He's still a young guy. I know he had a big load put on him last year, and he needs to still mature. He's still growing. He's still learning the game, and it might be another one of those opportunities where he can sit out and watch in the near future, because this team, when you're trying to play at the pace they want to play at, guys are going to need some time off the ice. And I think it's just going to be a rotation of some of these guys to try to keep everybody fresh down the stretch of this season. So this was a tough one. And in the coaching world, you're gonna say this is when you flush and you move on. They won't break down a lot of film from this. You no point beating them down after losing 8-2. So you got to 48 hours before you play the Boston Bruins. So you better turn it around in a hurry.
Yeah, the side counter has officially surpassed the Edmonton Oilers goals tonight.
Congratulations.
We've hit 9. So the over
and the Buffalo Sabres goal count before Sean says
that's true. It is equal to the Buffalo.
I was going to say it hasn't surpassed it yet. I think you forgot just how much the Buffalo Sabres scored on the Columbus Blue Jackets tonight, including 5 goals from Tage Thompson, and another one that he assisted on. But who's counting?
Of course, man. Well, do you have any final?
I got nothing on this game. Let's move on.
Okay, well,
I'm out.
All right, well, let's look slightly ahead then. We've talked about the tough schedule coming up against the Bruins. We got the Flyers on Sunday, a 5:00 game. So again, even a shorter turnaround, and then right back on the road to San Jose for an 8:30 p.m. start. I know it's 7:30 for them, but still. And then they come back and have to play a back-to-back against the Islanders and the Buffalo Sabres. So it doesn't get any easier from here. It doesn't get any easier for the Coyotes. And for the final time, let's look at the road trip graphic.
Oh,
it's finally over. It's finally over. And who would have thought they would have won 3 games to start it off, and it was all downhill from there. A win against Carolina in the middle, but it was all L's the rest of the way.
Lose 10 of their next 11 on that trip. And you looked at the calendar up ahead. I don't know. We tried to say this. Where are the wins? Like Boston, that's tough. The one that they need to lose is probably the most winnable game. It's in San Jose, and San Jose is they play well in San Jose. This team traditionally, we talk about what buildings they play well in. San Jose is a team they take to overtime. Seems I don't know how many overtimes and shootouts. And one of the reasons that I know that is because that airport has a curfew, and you need to get out on time. So they start games at 7:30, but you have an 11:30 curfew. Your planes have to be wheels up by 11:30, and so when games would almost always go to a shootout or an overtime, and you're sitting there, oh my God, we gotta go.
One of many reasons I would never take that trip, because there's just no opportunity for interviews afterwards.
It's ridiculous.
Out the door.
Usually 30 minutes out. You got to try to be 20 minutes out of the building from the time the buzzer goes to you're on the bus 20 minutes. That's insane. So that's one you'd like to see. Yeah, that's a winnable game.
Charles, no.
Of all the wins, you don't want that one. Because that team right now is 2 points ahead of you, and you've got 4 games in hand on them. You need to. That's one. If you're looking at a tank of the games over the next 10 days, that's the one they need to lose. Like they have to lose that one.
We're probably at the point where we should start the tank standings.
We should introduce that segment. Yeah,
I mean, we're 25. Some teams are almost at the 30 game mark. I think it's time we start.
Yeah, we'll get that going here next week. Man, I will say though, looking at that road trip, the losses that were piled up there were quite a few overtime and shootout losses, and in a lot of those games, it was competitive. Like that period. Sean,
whoa!
My God.
I don't know what you said that angered him so
much.
Up.
I was making more noise than Sabres goal horn tonight.
I knew something was coming from that. It didn't feel like that hopeless time, like what the Coyotes were going through at the beginning of last year, where they went without a win for 11 straight games. It hasn't really felt like that. Like this 8-2 loss tonight is kind of the first time, maybe the 6-2 losses
been a while,
at the beginning of the season.
Yeah, the Stars beat them 7-2 before the road trip.
That last game of the homestand, right?
Yeah, but honestly, other than that, like it hasn't felt that helpless feeling like it did last season. So honestly, kudos to this particular Coyotes group for being competitive, for working hard, and I honestly don't blame them. I honestly don't blame them for dropping this one. You're right. Just go home. Just get in your bed. I'm so happy.
That's what they wanted. They wanted to get home.
Reacquaint yourselves with your families. Make it hot.
And your dogs.
And your dogs.
They've been so competitive, and they've done that. And that team will be back. This tonight was a one-off. I really believe that. I do believe that they wanted to get home so badly, and I know they're professional athletes, but it's been a month. They want to get home.
A month.
And so this is a one-off. I think Boston's the better team, but they've been competitive when they played at the Mall. They were competitive against the New York Rangers there, and that's a good hockey team too. So I don't count them out. I don't know if it's a win, but I don't think it's an 8-2 shellacking either.
Well, for all those Coyotes players coming home tonight, they'll get to crawl into their bed, and I hope they bought their beds from More Furniture, because they have to be the most comfortable beds around. And Petey, you're doing a little couch shopping.
I know, it's time to get a new couch.
And I know you're planning to.
In-laws are coming, and we got to get a new couch. So we got to swing by More Furniture.
Check out more. So I hope for their sake they have all their comfortable More Furniture to get home to. And right now, you can check out their holiday clearance event happening at morefurniture.com. You can save up to 50% off on that sale. So definitely check that out. It's a great time of year. You don't have to just buy presents for other people. You can treat yourself too. But if you want to treat yourself or buy presents for other people, you should check out the PHNX locker, because not only do we finally have hoodies, we have Phoenix gear. We all ordered hoodies. We're so excited to get them. There's also diehard only merchandise, diehard only sweatshirts. So tons of perks to being a diehard, because you get that. You can get 20% off in the PHNX locker, which is great for this time of year. 20% off events. We have some phenomenal events coming up here. So stay tuned. Access to the Discord, access to the diehard only content on the website. So become a diehard, give the gift of being a diehard, and give the gift of PHNX merch this holiday
Petey, you
season.
see you got in-laws coming in, and you're going to buy a comfortable couch? I don't know that Moore is the right place. I mean, I recommend people go to Moore, but I don't know that you want a comfortable couch.
But don't you want them to be comfortable so they don't complain?
No, you want them to be uncomfortable so they leave.
Yeah, but then they're not sleeping and then they're complaining.
I got a couch that we're going to be putting out to the curb this weekend if you want to swing by. It's pretty beat
Buddy,
up.
you have no idea. We'll talk about it.
Okay. Because for another show.
When
you think your in-laws are tuned in right now?
Yeah, I don't know. Because when they come, they
was that two sides right there, like back to back?
Wait, when
I don't know. The in-laws are top.
We're broken the record.
When they roll into Arizona from the Midwest, boy howdy, they're here to stay.
Boy howdy,
you carry the suitcases in, and you're going, oh my goodness,
this is pretty heavy.
Can I get to the studio fast enough? No, Don and Sally can't wait.
They roll up with the U-Haul.
No, they roll up their crossword puzzle books and their jigsaw puzzles.
We've escalated the side counter to infinity side. Oh no, the side counter, it's broken.
Yeah, but I swear. So one of the first things, and I know, does more furniture have card tables? Because the puzzles will start.
Oh boy,
1,000-piece puzzles will start day one. And we remember,
are we getting Petey's puzzles back?
We were getting Petey's puzzles back.
Let's go.
You were here last year.
Petey's puzzles are coming back.
Let's go.
Let's go.
LFG.
Good Lord.
Oh my God, that is so funny. I don't even know where to go from here.
I'm happy that I won't be in the studio if puzzles come in. So.
Oh boy. All right.
Home games.
Well, let's check out the punch card to round this one out. I've lost all control of what's going on. All I know is that the Coyotes have lost 6 straight, and this line might go. I mean, the last 2 games there are the Flyers and the
they need to San Jose
so
one.
there's a possibility.
So there's a possibility
to get one.
How many straight games have they lost?
6.
Oh, that's as many points
Oh, wait, sorry.
Tage had tonight.
Oh my God.
I'm just saying. Hey, but you know what's something we haven't talked about?
What's that?
We talk all this talk about Austin Matthews.
Yeah.
I know.
home.
We need to put on our
Why
tinfoil
would we not
hats.
talk about the greatest Arizona hockey player to ever exist?
Tage Thompson coming back.
So I'm not kidding. Let's put on our tinfoil hats for 1 second.
Okay.
But just indulge me. We've talked about Austin Matthews coming home. We've talked about trading for Matthew Knies, getting all the Arizona-born players. We hope that Josh Doan will one day be part of this team. So we have 3 Arizona-born players. Well, Tage Thompson, he was born here.
Yeah.
So let's get it started now. Let's bring everybody home. Like that picture of John Tavares in his Toronto Maple Leafs pajamas. I'm coming home. If LeBron can have a super team, why can't the Arizona Coyotes be one for all of the Arizona hockey legends? And Tage Thompson is a part of that list. Tage Thompson to the Arizona Coyotes. Book it.
If you just looked at the ASU Twitter feed today, how many players jumped into the portal only to land in the desert? A lot of them said they're coming home today. A lot of them. So let's get that.
Also, it's Wheel of Fantasy. You know, the Coyotes 2020 or 2 years from now, they lose in the finals to the Buffalo Sabres. Obviously, Buffalo gets their first ever ring. I'm a happy man. Then Tage leaves. Comes to Arizona, plays the Sabres again in the finals. Tage scores the game winner in Game 7 against his old team. Arizona gets their first ever ring, and I'm even happier, man. We all win. We're all happy.
Who drafted Tage Thompson?
St. Louis Blues.
Yeah, who's the director of amateur scouting for that?
Who was it?
Oh, I think it was Bill Armstrong.
I'm just saying.
Let's go. By the way, if we're sticking with just players born here, which Kachuk was born here? Matthew
was born here.
Bring them all.
Let's just
bring them all back.
Yeah.
Bring them home.
Make Kenny
Sean
Dillingham the head
Couturier
coach.
was born in Arizona. I believe CWP is correct on that one too.
Yep, that's correct.
Wow.
I love it.
Let's go.
Do we have any goalies?
Can we give Joey Decord an honorable place
maybe.
Because he played
Joey, and we'll draft TJ.
I think it's just Sturkins from Gilbert. By the way, no, he's not.
No.
Oh my God.
I don't think so.
Oh my gosh. Well,
Also, I need to address a comment. I'm not a Buffalo apologist. I'm a Buffalonian. There's a difference. I'm not apologizing for anything. It's who I am.
Well, If we don't have a producer for that post-game show, it's because Sean went on the Game Time app and got himself tickets to that Buffalo Sabres game at the Coyotes, and you can too. The Coyotes are finally coming home, and check them out on Game Time. They're cheaper when you buy them the day of an event. So Friday, check them out. You'll find them the cheapest there. You can buy your parking passes on Game Time. You'll save up to 60% when you buy them last minute. So check them out for going to Coyotes games, for Suns games, for Cardinals games, whatever you want to go to. But when you buy them, use the link below in our description. It's the best way to support us, I promise you. And man, I hope somebody out there tonight did higher in Tage Thompson shots, points, goals, whatever it was.
Inject it.
Whatever it was, I hope that somebody took that and they would have won some money on Underdog Fantasy in the Pick'em game. It's really easy to use. If you had just done that, if you had done higher Tage Thompson goals, if you had done higher Connor McDavid points, and what's one more? Like lower Coyote shots on goal.
Yeah.
Oi.
Nailed it.
You would have won yourself some money. The more picks you add, the more money you can win. It's super, super, super easy to use. You can also play daily fantasy. Again, if you had drafted Tage Thompson and Connor McDavid for your daily fantasy draft tonight, you would have beat all your friends or the public or one of your friends, because that's how many people you can do drafts against. It's so much fun, so easy to use. So check out Underdog. This would have been a great night to use it. It's super easy to get started. To go to underdogfantasy.com or download the app. Sign up with the promo code PHNX, and Underdog will match your first deposit up to $100. All right, well, that's all I got, unless we have the pictures of butter that Craig has been asking
Well, obviously
for.
we have a big show tomorrow, too, and I just wanted to talk about that as well, because Tempe Mayor Corey Woods will be on our show. We'll be back in, by the way, less than 12 hours, guys. We'll be going live with Tempe Mayor Corey Woods to talk about this deal.
It's worth it.
It is.
Who does the schedule?
Yeah, I mean, we're at the. Listen, we go whenever the mayor wants to.
If we would have thought this out, why didn't I bring my pajamas?
You could have slept in the recliner.
Fair question.
Seriously, because if you're supposed, at my age, you're supposed to get 8 hours of sleep, and if we're back on the air in 10 hours, buddy, do the math.
But we're gonna dive into this in depth. Oh boy, still talking.
You're making the show go longer by interrupting Craig.
Yeah, that was a pretty big one.
Yeah.
But and Friday they are playing the number 1 team in the National Hockey League.
Yeah, that's okay.
But back to the mayor.
They are playing the Sabres on Friday.
And the arena deal, which is everything to this franchise. We'll dive into it. We're going to ask a lot of questions. Yep. And quite frankly, we're going to ask some questions that have come up from opponents of this deal. We're going to dig into this a bit. So it's definitely a show that you're going to want to watch. But
are you going to ask about the airport?
Going to ask about the
Are you going to ask about Morello's bill paying?
Going to ask about Morello's bill paying. Yep.
Going
to ask about Case. Going to ask about a lot of things. Going to ask about a lot of things. We have a long list of questions, so tune in tomorrow, 10:30, right here.
So if people want the answers to those questions and much more, they should tune in tomorrow.
Tomorrow, 10:30 a.m. If you're watching us live on the YouTube channel right now, hit that subscribe button, hit the bell so you never miss when we go live, because I believe we're the first ones live tomorrow, so you don't want to miss that. 10:30, set your reminders. You could set a reminder on the YouTube video. So definitely tune in. It's going to be a really, really great interview.
Yeah. And to answer your question, Thomas Wayne, yeah, definitely by the trade deadline, I would think he'd be gone. It could happen sooner. There are a lot of teams out there with defensive needs. So I'll say that. And before you sign us off, one more thing to just put you in a better mood after this really rough night.
Let's end on this positive.
Do have some more pictures to share of Butterpig Krause.
Look at him in his little
Thank you, Claire, for sending these along.
And everything is better all of a sudden, isn't it?
And Claire's message is he's ready to celebrate the holidays with his estranged father.
And Butterpig has a little Christmas pig next to him.
Aww. And the little hat, the little Santa hat.
Don't you just feel better now?
I do. Yep. I really, really do.
Dogs always make
Thank
you
you,
feel
Butter.
better.
Yep. Oh, our king of the game. You love to see it. You absolutely love to see it. Oh my gosh. Well, hit the like button on this video if you love Butterpig Krause. Like I said, subscribe to the YouTube channel. Subscribe wherever you get your podcasts as well. Leave us a review there. It's extremely helpful to us. And in the meantime, you can follow each of us on Twitter. Sean, did you hit 500 followers?
I did today.
But let's keep it going. You can follow Sean at Sean_DePaz. You can follow Craig at Craig S. Morgan. You can follow me at Leah Merrill. You can follow Petey at S. Peters Hockey. And you can follow the show at PHNX_Coyotes. Big show tomorrow with Tempe Mayor Corey Woods. We'll see you in just a couple of hours. Until then, have a great rest of your night, everybody.